Well, greetings. Here we are on Leap Day 2024. Oh my goodness. In the C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, we never miss an opportunity to have a program, a conversation, something to move us forward into action. And so today we thought, hey, let's just jump in and have a conversation about leaping and achieving big goals with bold moves. So today's program is an interactive one. We're going to have a visit from a celebrity. I'll just lean in to mention that as well. And a fun program that I know you will be inspired by and be motivated and ready to take the next leap in whatever is important to you. So here we go. I'm Kathleen Caldwell, founder of the C-Suite Network Women's Coaching and Consulting Council, and I'm an author, speaker, all things coaching, consulting, and loving up building global sisterhoods. And so I am so delighted to be the founder of this council, and big shout out as we move into our programs. We have, as always, had some incredible programs. Deb Creer talked about how to take advantage of all the trends, the things that are happening in podcasting. Oh, it was informative. It was terrific. And so thank you, Deb, for that program. That was just last week. And of course, our other programs are on our YouTube channel. We are highlighting, promoting, and showcasing the best of the best. You coaches and consultants are world-class coaches and thought leaders. And so the program that Gloria St. Martin Lowry, she facilitated and led a conversation about how to build allies and advocates with our corporate clients and really communities as a whole. We also talked about six-figure and seven-figure, that's either yearly, annually, or monthly, hello, how to build a successful business. And so we got into the business aspect of that as well with our other program. Sonia Jante brought in a terrific program about taking the right risks and making the right choices. And it was an excellent program with a great assessment that you can get a hold of and really find out where you're at in the continuum of your goals, achievement, and the realization of what's important to you. And of course, Christina DiGiacomo talked about, she's done so many programs, and they are some of the highest rated programs among all of you sisters who have presented. She talked about how to supercharge your speaker success with AI, and it was just terrific. Lots of tools, lots of things that we can use with AI. And of course, welcoming our newest esteemed faculty member, Barbara Fronta. We're so excited that Barbara is joining us. Barbara will be doing a program very soon, and we cannot wait. She has got so much experience in healthcare, IT, informatics, and she's going to bring all that into also starting a new roundtable for executive women. So we can't wait to hear about that too. So just curious, I did not know a lot about Leap Day. And so I'm just curious, here were a couple fun facts that you can read off the screen, but it's interesting. Leap year is also correlated with the Earth's revolution, the Earth's revolving around the sun. And it was really started with Julius Caesar, who declared and had the intuition and the knowledge and to be able to understand that the world and the earth calibrating with seasonality was really obviously very important. And it was such an interesting thing to jump into. And so I'm curious, have you any points of view on leap year, any interesting stories about leap day and leap year? Also to know that Antonio Sabato and Ja Rule and Tony Robbins' birthday is today. So shout out for birthday to them. And there are approximately 4 million leap year babies, or they're called leaplings, out there in the world. And my husband's nephew is one of them. So anything with leap year you want to share? I'm just going to jump in, and anything come to mind with leap year, leap day? Obviously more than just a normal day. Yeah, please jump in.
Well, my birthday is February 28th, 1982. So, and it was 8th grade before I realized that 82 was not a leap year. So but my whole life, every time somebody finds out my birthday, they're always like, oh, one day from that. And I'm like, actually 2 years and 1 day, but very close. So, so it has been something that has been all the time brought up in my life for that. So, and I know a couple of people that I know, one in particular that I saw today, their birthday is leap year. And I am not close with that person, but a lot of our mutual friends are. And so I'm like, oh, I know which people always say, his birthday is leap year, but we celebrated on the 28th. So I can't come, because it's like their BFF kind of thing. So
yes. And I think Leapling babies have the opportunity to celebrate on the 28th or March 1st. You know, it's kind of an interesting deal. And so great. Awesome.
He posted today that he's 60 years old, and he said, but 15 birthdays old. So
it's funny. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And how interesting, a phenomenon in our life, and this great opportunity to have one extra day this month, which is so interesting. It feels like a special day. Yeah. Yeah. Anyone else want to jump in? Anything trivia wise around leap day, leap year? Mary, I think you put something in the chat here. Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting phenomenon. Yes. And so anyway, I just thought, hey, let's do a program and let's jump in and talk about how we can utilize this day. So anyway, so let me continue on. And of course, leap year also. Hey, Krispy Kreme gives us an opportunity to get some free donuts. I don't know how many of you are interested in that, but they're quite delicious. So I guess they have a special day today. Maybe it's buy 20, get 9 free. Okay, great. So anyway, just a little humor there. Let's leap into action, okay? Holding hands, jumping in. And I put together some thoughts about 4 key bold moves that we can make to leap into whatever's important to you, whatever's important to us. And so for our time together, my request is I'd love for you to think about one thing that's important to you, one thing that's important to you, a goal, an initiative, a desire, something that's top of mind. Because if we're for the purpose of our time together, if we're thinking about 15 things, I don't think we're going to get as much out of our time as if you're contemplating and strategizing about one thing that's important. So thinking about one goal, and if you want to jot it down, write it down, type it in, whatever, if you want to put it in the chat, oh gosh, we'd love that. Yes. So my thought is the first bold move for your one big goal in order to leap into achieving it, experiencing it, realizing it is, I think, getting more focused. I don't know about each of you, but I'm bombarded every day. I think my email count, gosh, wonderful, wonderful, is now like over 200 emails a day. Okay, great. But all of the emails, the stimulation, the social media, the meetings, the opportunities, everything seems like it's really picked up in 2024. And so I come back to just the basic things about a bold move would be, to get focused on the one thing, or at minimum, the 3 to 5 things that are really important to you this year, this next 5 years, this decade, whatever the time frame is that works for you, but getting focused and also getting back to the basics about what do you want and why do you want it. And so I'm going to pause for a second, and I want to get your voices in here so that we have an interactive time together. What are your thoughts about getting focused? What are you doing to keep focused? Because that's a big, bold move to say, hey, I'm going to get focused, and I'm not going to put my priorities on all of the other stuff out there, but instead use my focus. It takes a lot of trust, doesn't it? Yeah. So what are your thoughts? I want to get your voices in here. Get focused. Kind of scary sometimes, isn't it? Because I have FOMO. Does anybody have FOMO, fear of missing out? Yeah. So yeah. Jump in.
Kathleen, that was what I was going to say, is sometimes focusing can be scary. And I know that right now I am excited about what I'm focusing on next. But yeah, it's a little bit of that, but I'm leaving these other things, setting them, and I have to tell myself I'm setting them aside for now.
Yeah.
This is
Excellent.
what I'm focusing on for now.
Yeah. Yes. Great, Terry. Thank you. And what I've been preparing for our time together, I also was realizing another distinction is I'm a really good starter at things. I love projects. Oh my goodness. I love starting things. But in the middle of projects and at the end of projects, I like the end and I like the beginning, but the middle, I don't like so much because it's generally a lot of details and a lot of minutia. Hence why my VA is really important to be focusing on the details. So keeping focus throughout the entirety of a project is tough for me. Yeah. How about for you? What are your thoughts about keeping focus, getting focused on
So for
what's important?
me,
Yeah.
there's another word that has to go with it, and that's delegating. If I'm going
Oh,
to
love
focus
it.
on this, it means I need to delegate that. And that's a challenge for me. So
Yes.
it's really, I've been working really hard on that.
Yeah, excellent. And when you're about creating a global movement like you are, Deb, trying not to die.live, hello, we can't possibly do it all. We can keep it nice and neat and tidy, our nice and neat and tidy businesses and careers that are manageable. But the growing and the scaling part is challenging if we don't delegate. Great
Right.
point. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Kathy, do you want to jump in? Carol, Sarah,
Sure,
anyone? Mary? Yeah.
I'll jump in, and
Yeah.
and for me, this leap year is kind of ties in with I turned 60 last week. So again, it's a time of kind of reflecting on, okay, what are those big important things? And then this, add in the leap year of this special extra day we get. But to me, part of it is that, yes, being focused, but putting extra time into really thinking what are those big things to focus on. Because like you say, there's so many things going on and there's so many shiny objects, but really differentiating which are the ones that will move the needle, which are the ones that are actually going to move things forward and not just keep treading water. And like you say, 200 emails a day, there's your whole day right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And what a great point that you're bringing up, because do we know how it's going to turn out before we start? So it's really a leap of faith sometimes, isn't it? I mean, we can do the investigation, the research, the surveys, all of this, see what others are doing, but oftentimes do we know if it's the right thing to do? How do we know, right? Yeah. Yeah. History will give us some examples, but it does take a leap of faith, doesn't it? Hence our topic today. Yeah. Thank you. Takes a lot of courage, Kathy. Takes a lot of courage, but you have a track record now, of course, all of these successful books, bringing authors to become internationally best-selling authors. And so you've got a track record here. You have a formula that works. So that's really terrific. A lot of people don't have that. So I think it's less of a leap for you, professionally.
Fine tuning.
Fine tuning. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Thank you. Yeah. Who else? What are your thoughts about focus? Is it easy for you? Is it difficult for you? When I have a project I'm interested, I'm laser focused, but yeah, please jump in. Yeah.
No, one of the things I'm focusing on right now, or realizing as I'm trying to hone my focus, and really over this last year of data from some implementations I've done for my brand, and kind of starting in like November, December, I've been really like, okay, what worked, what didn't, which months were better, which, just and even, and then the historical data, like I started something last March off of data from last February. February is always, it's my birthday month. It's there's a bunch of things that always are happening in February every year, including this textile show I went to yesterday. So it's a very like money out month. And that's how, and last year in March, I was like, wait a second, I haven't had a sales opportunity for anybody since the middle of January. So like this year I had 2 in February, and I was just talking to my husband too. It's like, okay, this year, yes, it's still a very heavy out month, but we had these things and they brought some, again, not equal, but you know, as far as how the year goes, but also looking at some of my previous business model that we've switched from when I used to wholesale to boutiques, there's a rigorous schedule with that, with wholesaling, which, you know, you go to the shows, like, you know, February are the fall shows. It's where you're showing your fall collection. September is the spring shows, you're showing your spring collection. And so it's like where we've gone away from that wholesale strategy, but looking at what are the positive things in that, and really just had a conversation before this call of like, no, even though I don't have to do all those things anymore, I still need my whole year fabric collections, everything planned out ahead of time. And so for me, it's like that focus, and really the other thing that I learned out through this year, even when we would set our goals, set our strategies, it's like, I need it written down and visible, because I'll get in the weeds on something and be like, and you're muted, by the way. So I see your head.
Oh yeah.
nodding.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
But,
Yes. Thank you.
And even my husband, who's a brilliant marketer and, you know, in his own right, has a ton more business experience in general than I do. These focuses that we've come up with throughout the year, there've been times that I'm like, what am I supposed to be focusing on again?
Oh,
I know we
gosh,
talked about
yes.
it. I know there are things. I'm in the weeds over here, and I'm like looking, you know, all the individual trees, and I'm like, what was my main focus again? Like, I need, so just really getting it written out and visible, and to where it's easy to see those broken down data points. Anyway, so we just had a great conversation about that on, for me,
Yes.
having that big picture and all of those goals, then you can continue to get smaller and smaller on the nuances of what am I supposed to be doing today.
So true. Yes. Sarah, great points that you bring up, because we use in the Women's Success Accelerator an intention agenda, which is 3 things, and keep getting it granular to this week, today, this month, you know, because I think it's easy to do. And I had a woman that I talked to last week. She said, it's hard for me to do this because I'm so curious about everything. And I realize I think we're all curious people. We're all growing and learning. We all have a lot of interests. However, are we focused enough to take them to the finish line? So one takeaway from today, I'd like to just put a little bookmark in, is how a bold move could be, hey, I'm going to take the leap of faith, and for the rest of this week or the rest of today, I'm going to just focus on this one project, bringing it to completion. And because and I know I mean, on a personal note, I have a lot of sewing projects that are not complete. They're not the priority, but at the time they were. That blanket that I was weaving for my mom and dad, you know, it's kind of not the priority anymore, but it's half done. So anybody have any half done projects? Please help me here. Yes. Yeah, exactly. Mary, thank you. Yeah. So great. So perhaps a bold move that you can think about for today is, hey, I'm going to use my powerful focus to the projects. Okay. Finish a project, do something. And of course, tapping into why it's really important for you. Why is it important to the world? Why do you want it? And of course, I love this Stephen Covey quote. Oh my gosh, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. And it occurred to me last night, of course, with St. Patrick's Day coming up, that if you look at this little photo on the screen, are we looking for the 3-leaf clover, or are we looking for the 4-leaf clover? Where's our attention and our priority? Great question there. So first bold move is, of course, get focused on the important things that are important to you. That's taking a great leap. Second big move is to get committed. Get committed. And I think a lot of people say, well, sure, I'm committed. However, I think going deeper is, when you think about that one big goal for our time together today, is, are you committed to it, or are you merely interested? Committed or interested? And so I'm just wondering about your thoughts about this. And then we're going to invite our celebrity guest to come in and share something where I believe you will see commitment all around. So thoughts about interested versus committed. Kind of a cool distinction, isn't it? Interested or committed, right? Curious, interested. kind of half in, half out? Do you have any projects or initiatives where you're kind of curious about it, but not really committed? Can you relate to any of it?
One of the best things somebody ever said to me when I was first starting my company was, is it a hobby or a business?
Thank you, Deb. Yes, especially with long-term projects. And I'm curious, how many of you have got some longer-term projects that'll take a while to complete? Yeah, hello. It's in the middle that sometimes it gets a little squishy. And so getting recommitted is really an important thing. And of course, kind of going back to, why did I want to do this in the first place? Why does it matter? Why does it matter not only to me, but also to the world? I know we talk about this a lot. So I want to go in and just spend literally a couple minutes to have you share with you something that's important to me and that I think you'll resonate with. Some of you have seen this before, but take a new look at this and notice, is this interested or a demonstration of committed? Okay. And I'm going to just ask you if you can hear the video once we start playing. Okay. Whoa, huh? Really powerful. Yeah. I can't watch that without getting a little teary-eyed. Yeah. So I wondered about commitment versus interested, right? Really powerful demonstration. And the lyrics, if you do a YouTube video, if Beyonce UN, in some of the chat, there's the lyrics, and the lyrics are very, very powerful. And so just curious about, again, committed versus interested, and thinking about this beautiful quote. And I'm just wondering, would someone like to read this? I'm going to stop. I'm going to pause my sharing here. And yeah, let me stop the share. When you do video, I'm sure you all know this. When you share a screen, you have to share the sound, which kind of messes up a little with your screen. So just curious, would someone like to read this very wonderful quote from Goethe? You've heard it before, but here on Leap Day, this is the first time I hope that you're hearing it today. Love to get your voice in here. Carol, jump in, please. Yeah.
Until one is committed, there is hesitancy, the chance to draw back. The moment that one definitely commits oneself, then providence moves too. All sorts of things occur that would never have otherwise have occurred. Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it.
Oh, Carol, beautiful. Sparkle fingers for you. Lovely. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So thank you so much. And all sorts of things occur that would never otherwise have occurred when we are committed. And so providence moves too. The earth, and you know this, mountains move, people come into your life, resources are brought to you, opportunities are brought to you out of the thin air, magic, things like that. However, it takes that commitment. And so I'm curious for you in with what you're doing. And we've got two more bold moves, but just curious what's emerging for you, because each of you have got your own important projects. And what's emerging for you about commitment and hesitancy. What are your thoughts? Yeah.
I know for me that I feel sometimes, especially when I'm starting to approach things in a different way or do a new kind of collaboration, I sense that there is some kind of okay, I'll take this a little more slowly and just kind of see how it goes instead of
Exactly.
okay, I'm in, go.
Right, exactly. Yeah, yes, yes. And so today's topic about leap day, leap year is, I think it's all about taking that leap. And so perhaps it is a leap of faith. And so, with having focus, commitment, and thank you, Kathy, for that. That's great. And our third and fourth will be coming here is the next big, bold move, I think, is more than even committed. How about determined? Determined. I'm writing a book now about this because this is so important to me, about the determination factor and how to be really determined, because determination, I believe, is different than committed. You all know the experience you have of being determined and being so completely, almost like ruthless. And I love this quote that there's no force more powerful than a woman determined to, and you could even fill in the blank, right? To overcome obstacles, to do things, to be, that emotion and that feeling, that energy of determined, even more powerful than commitment. So thoughts about determined, I'll jump in and would love to get your voices in here too, of a definition of determined, an adjective. Someone love to read? And I do this to get you involved. This is a tricky little thing. Yes, yes. Jump in, whomever would like to read this. Terry, you have your mic unmuted, dear. We want to get your voice in here again.
Sure.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Yeah.
Determined, resolute, decided, settled, resolved, not weak or uncertain.
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. So determined is, how does being determined about something, how does it show up for you as something that's different than just committed? It's an interesting energy, isn't it? Or interested. Yeah. Yeah. Determined. It has a certain vibration. It has a certain kind of grittiness to it. Yeah. Yeah.
To me, the
What
word
are,
I like to use is tenacity. Because I think determined is kind of, tenacity is determined, stretched.
absolutely. Yeah. Fantastic, Kathy. Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. And so as opposed to just interested or committed, of course, important things, but just completely determined and determined toward a certain outcome, or determined to put our focus on something. Yeah. Yeah. Your thoughts any more about determined? Yeah. So finally, and again, so our 4 leap year topics, of course, the final one is thinking about your big goal, and a bold move number 4. So we've got 4 is leaping into action, just taking the leap. And isn't this the saying go, jump and your wings will appear. So
Oh,
jumping into that. Yeah, jump and your wings will appear. So I love this little quote about leaving behind your old self, literally. And, a minute ago could have been our old self, right? Before we started our conversation today in our masterclass, our live stream, 38 minutes ago was you were a different person. We were all different people coming into the call today. And so leaping into action is, I think, taking a leap of faith, uh, based on whatever, investigation, research, data points that you have. And I think leaping into the unknown, because don't we truly know who we are and what we're capable of when we take the leap? Yeah. Comments, points of view on this. What are your thoughts? Let's leap into action. Yeah. Taking a leap of faith, right? Trusting. Knowing that for each of us, we are smart. We are so capable. We are so resourced. We are not alone, right? Basing it on all the data. What I know for sure is that you and I us and we, there's not a more powerful group of women with experience and energy and, everything to give. We are so committed. Hello, here we are. We're on this call together. So we've got the credibility, we've got the props, we've got all of that. And so taking the leap. Yeah. Jump in if you've got some thoughts, and then we'll complete here in a moment. Taking that leap of faith. That leap of faith. Yeah. Yeah,
I just
please.
put a comment over in the
Thank you.
thing there that my latest book project is actually called Taking the Leap of Faith with Confidence. So it's all about
Excellent.
those of us that have made that leap from working a job to becoming an entrepreneur. How can you
Excellent.
support the new women that are taking that leap of faith?
Yeah, really great. Because that's a scary leap too, isn't it? It's a scary leap. And to be surrounded, as we are, of course, in our council, to be surrounded by women that are doing big things and taking risks and bold next moves and working to be more visible out there in the world. Really powerful. Yeah, we don't have to do it alone. So that's great. Very good. Thank you, Kathy. That's great. So in summary here, ladies, are 4 big, bold moves. And again, you can take this to whatever degree really works for you. But I'm encouraging all of us, because I'm going to, when I complete this call, is of course, think about which of these 4 things are the most important for me right now to get hyper focused to a new level of focus, almost to let go of the other stuff for a period of time, get focused, get committed or recommitted, get ultra determined or tenacious. Kathy, thank you. And then number 4, leap into faith. So just curious, what for you, which of these 4 are really resonating with you? And then we'll complete our time together. Hey, just watching Beyonce in the UN and what they're up to as an inspiration. Yeah. Yeah. Really powerful. That got me thinking of leaping into action. Yeah. How about you? Which of these 4 are calling out to you as we complete our time together? Yeah.
Get focused.
Get focused. Thank you, Carol. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. That's it.
Me too. Focus.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Great. Great. Number 1. How about that? Yeah. Yeah. Or another one, of course, but a bold move to actually choose one of these, to get focused, to get committed, get determined, and also leap into action. Yeah.
For me, it's a
Any other-
circle. I get going
Mm.
really good and then squirrel.
Exactly.
It's like we were saying before.
Yeah.
And so then we have to go back to get focused and start over.
Yes. Thank you, Deb. Thank you. Yes. And I think also you and all of you are, really demonstrating that you've got a core set of programs and initiatives and projects that you're working on. And so being able to not like go way off into the woods kind of thing, but to come back and get focused to what your priorities are. Yeah, really great. Anyone else before we move on and complete our time together? Yeah. Which of these 4 are resonating with you and your point of view on these things? Yeah. And isn't it also important for our clients that we demonstrate this for ourselves and also bring these distinctions to our clients as well, because they're dealing with the same kind of thing. They're dealing with a lack of focus, a lack of commitment, a lack of determination, or, fearing leaping into action into saying yes to you and your offer. So you having great facility on these things, sharing what's happening for you and what works, and getting into that conversation with them over there is, I think, absolutely critical. So yeah, thank you. Good. Anything else and we'll complete? Okay. So thank you for this, and remembering that, what is your next step always? Thinking about what could I take action on? And of course, I'm really big on writing it down and a by when. And we have in our Women's Success Accelerator a weekly success email. So it's like, what did I get done this week? What did I say I was going to do? And what are my plans for the next week? So some sort of accountability system for yourself. And of course, remembering the phenomenal Margaret Mead quote. Love this quote. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. So you don't have to go this alone. And what you're doing matters in the world. And we want to promote you, showcase you, and highlight you. And so with that, I encourage everyone all the time, have things in your business, in your life, fun things, wonderful things to invite people to. And so every Saturday, we have the Women's Saturday Morning Women's Success Circle. And this Saturday, we are on 91 consecutive Saturdays, 91, born out of frustration reading the Saturday morning newspaper, 3 of those at the time, and what's happening, challenges, feeling frustrated. And I said, got a divine download of, hey, you could gather women together and have a conversation and talk about what's possible. Have a new distinction that's uplifting, that's inspirational, motivational, and actionable. And so for 91 Saturdays, we have gathered together from women all around the world. And it is absolutely joyous, a different topic every week. And we never run out of topics. So think about this for your business and for your life. How can you bring women together in a circle, in a round table, in a council to engage in important topics? Okay. So thank you for that. That's this Saturday. And of course, always more to come. Next Thursday, on March the 7th, we are featuring our esteemed faculty member, Cindy Watson, who's going to talk and share her journey. She has been a friend of mine for, I think 6-7 years, a colleague. She has had an incredible journey from attorney to now global thought leader, with a TED Talk, with programs, with keynotes, with a book, with groups. She has got so many things going on. And so she's going to share her journey. It's going to be really powerful. You can do the same thing too. Okay. So come and learn how to scale up your global business. And so I'm just curious, as we complete, we'll finish in a moment. Curious what your biggest takeaway is from our time together, and loved every minute of our time. And of course, the secret to all of this is really coming together and being powerful together. You don't have to do it alone. No more she-wolves. She-wolfism is not a good place to be. So let's come together, be powerful together. Come join us in our council. We want to promote you, showcase you, highlight you, lift you up, and give you a platform to rise and shine. And schedule a one-on-one with me. And so can't wait for us to do that. And so as we complete, what's your biggest takeaway from our time together? Just to put a little bookend on our wonderful time on Leap Day, Leap Year 2024. Your biggest takeaway. Thank you. Just jump right in.
I think I liked what Deb was saying about it being a cycle, because I think I'm in the process of making some big, bold changes. And it's a process of leaping and then leaping again, figuring out what that next step is. And it's kind of like rock climbing. You've got to find the next handhold and then have the faith to make that, put all your weight on that next handhold. So that's kind of what I'm walking away with today.
Beautiful. Terry, thank you so much. So grateful that you're here. Yeah, you are up to big things, and we cannot wait to support you and just help lift you and be there on the rock climb. Yes, holding on and being strapped in and all of that alongside. Yeah, good. Thank you so much. Great. Good. Who else? Your biggest takeaway from our time together? I'm going to be thinking bolder. That's my biggest takeaway, and taking bigger action. Yeah, Carol, thank you. Jump in.
I think sometimes it takes a big leap to get focused, because there are so many priorities that seem urgent and needing attention. And that was the story of my day yesterday. So, it's like trying to slay all the dragons for the day and never getting to my one big thing until should have been in bed when I finally got to it. It was a shame.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because that's real life, right?
Yes.
Is, how do we stay committed and focused and determined in the face of other priorities, but yet still taking the big leap? So yeah, thank you, Carol. And the birds we can hear are calling out your name and calling us out. We're so happy about that. Yeah, thank you. Beautiful. Good. Yeah. Who else as we complete our time? Your biggest takeaway?
I think to me, part of it, this whole thing about taking that leap, it's almost also like needing to burn the boats. There is no turning back.
Yes,
You're going
exactly,
forward.
Kathy. Yeah.
So dedication, determination, tenacity, boldness, burn the boat, take
Yeah.
the leap.
Exactly. Oh, love it. Love it. Yeah. And know that in the right communities too, we don't have to do it alone, that we'll be celebrated. And what I know for sure is in my 23-year coaching, experience, and is I've never felt more supported now than I do. And that was not always the case, but I think it really is a testimony for, hey, seeing others doing it, being celebrated, and of course having the right strategies, right? Having everything in place, but at some point just saying, hey, I'm done with that, right? I'm just done with that. Yeah. Thank you, Kathy. Beautiful. Really appreciate that. We see you doing that. Yeah. Thank you. Good. Anyone else, your biggest takeaway from our time together?
Well, mine is from the video.
Oh.
And I love it every time. How will we be remembered?
Powerful. Yeah. I was here. I was
Mhm.
here. Yeah. Very good. Thanks, Deb. Yeah. And you are definitely doing it with all that you do with your Business Power Hour podcast and your Trying Not to Die.live. Yeah. Boldly going forward. Congratulations. Yeah. Thank you. Good. Good. Anyone else? Biggest takeaway. Thank you. Well, oh my gosh, what a joyous day and what a joyous opportunity to be with each of you. Thank you so much. You have helped me think about a bigger leap and be in action about thoughts and turning them into action with today's gathering. So thank you so much. Can't wait to see you very, very soon. And let's leap together. How's that? Okay. Bye for now. Thank you. Lots of love to each of you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks.